we are going to start the assembly of the first incubator, which is actually this one. It has a capacity of 64 eggs and is actually one of the biggest incubators that we have right now at the farm. Before we assemble the egg incubator, let me show you some of the pieces which complete this egg incubator. So, the first thing is, this is the insulator. There are two of them, one at the bottom while the other at the top. We also have these rollers right here. And these are very unique because they are the one that make the eggs turn automatically. Here's the thing, these rollers are very different from the previous incubator. And how is that so? As you can be able to see them, they are actually pre-assembled, which means you actually don't need to assemble them. You just need to put this inside the egg incubator. This other part is the bottom of the egg incubator. If you can be able to look closely, it looks like a maze. The reason behind that is once you put water inside, it needs to go all across this panel, and that is what regulates the humidity inside your egg incubator. The next part is the top of incubator, and as you can be able to look closely, it has three different aspects. One is it does have the fans. You can be able to see that, right? Now this is what regulates the temperatures inside the egg incubator. The next aspect is the sensor, which happens to be this tiny button right here. It senses the level of humidity. It also senses the temperatures inside the egg incubator. Lastly, we have the control panel right here. Now, this control panel, it gives you the reading from the sensor, be it for the temperatures or be it for the humidity, and we are going to see that. This other part is the tray. Now, this is usually useful on day 19 towards day 21. You usually remove your eggs from the rollers and you place them on top of this tray. It makes sure that your chicks don't suffer any deformation on their legs, because remember, the rollers are always on continuous motion, which means they don't stop unless the egg incubator stops. And now, that's the reason why you are advised to remove your eggs on day 19 and place them on top of this tray. Lastly but not the least, it's the flame. I'm not taking a selfie, but I would love to do so. This is the shell of the egg incubator. And if you can be able to observe closely, it has some holes here, which are outlets, and other than just putting the water from the trays, you can also put water on this segment. We have talked about the fan, we have talked about the sensor, and we have talked about these connectors. And as I said, I'm going to show you how you connect them inside the egg incubator. So at this moment, we now need to connect the egg incubator, because as you can see the watch, we have less than 2 minutes.
have been able to assemble our egg incubator. But before I close the lid, there's something I need you to pay attention. All the assembled parts looks good, but then there's a problem. You see that? Our wires have been cut by the rat.
We are actually done with the connection of our 64 capacity egg incubator, and as you can be able to see, you see the reading, the machine is running. So the last step will be to connect this connector right here with this one.
Done with arranging of our eggs, but I found one egg which was cracked. So obviously an egg like this one, you cannot put it in an egg incubator because it will not be able to create that environment that an embryo needs to grow in and obviously to become a chick. But I will use this egg to demonstrate to you what you need to do in the next process. And I also have my marker pen right here, blue and red, whichever you like. You'll need to mark this egg so that when you're coming every day to monitor how your eggs are progressing, you'll be checking also to see if the eggs are being turned. Because remember, if there is no turning of the egg, then it means there's one part of the egg that don't get that enough temperature or enough warmth. So let me show you how we do this. So it's very simple. You just need to pick your egg like this, and then you can be able to put an X on one side. You see that? So what happens is you put an X like that. You can even put right like that. But now for me, I usually like to put an X because from this focal point, I can be able to know if the egg turned or if the egg did not turn within the 24 hours. Let's do this with other eggs.